Hello, guys. Good day. Welcome to our science class. This time, we're going to be talking about properties of hair. So, by definition, let's quickly introduce the meaning of properties and we talk about hair. So, we're talking about properties. You should know what that means. If I'm asking you what's the properties, I'm telling you what you have or what you can do or what you possess or the things you don't even have as well. So, property is not limited to positive alone. It can be things you have or you are lacking. So it is two-way side. So hair is not um, something I can introduce. It's something you know already and easily you can decode from your end. So air is just a mixture of gases. Yes, you know that already. So you feel it everywhere. In fact, I can say to you that without air, there won't be life because it's part of the basic necessity of life. So it forms part of the five common elements that exist and that hold life. So air is very, very important. So I want to talk about the properties of air. That is, what make up hair, what constitutes hair, what are the things hair have, what can they do, what can they not, and what really, what are the things you can find in the air. So that will lead us to the next slide. So don't forget, properties of air are quite much. It can be up to 12 or 15. But for our level, it just limits it to just six so that we learn more about the common properties. So the first one is composition. So the composition contains some of the basic things that make up the air. So air is not just what you breathe in. Some of you, if I ask you, what is the use of air? You say we breathe in air. Well, you can breathe in air, but it's not actually the air you're breathing in because air composed of so many invisible um, gases. So it contains the nitrogen, it contains oxygen, which you breathe in, it contains carbon dioxide, it contains methane gas, it contains helium, it contains neon, it contains argon. So that is general composition of air. So it's not limited to just oxygen that is very popular alone. So even oxygen is not part of the it's not part of the largest proportion that compose the air. So the nitrogen contains 78% of the air. That's the largest, followed by oxygen, which makes up 21. So other elements have a traceable amount, which is just 1%. So the argon, the neon, the helium, the methane gas, and yes, we have water vapor as part of the common um, composition of air. So all those ones contains just 1%. So nitrogen is just taking the larger chunks, followed by oxygen. So composition air contains mixture of gases, which are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, um, helium, methane gas, neon, argon, and water vapor. Now we talk about the density. So density is just talking about how light or heavy an object can be. Yes. So you may be thinking, does air have weight? Yes, air has weight. You can just make a practical experiment by yourself. Just blow a balloon, tie it, and put an object on it. So it means that balloon can carry an object, isn't it? So it's not the balloon that is carrying the object, but the air inside it that is carrying the object. So it shows it's has weight. So immediately you allow the air inside the balloon to escape or you burst it, the object will definitely fall. So that makes it that okay, the air has weight. So air has weight based on the vacuum or the container or whatever things you have it on. So that is for density. So density of air refers to the mass of air. So it's big per volume or unit volume. So it decreases with increasing altitude and temperature. Now the next component or properties of air is the pressure. So pressure is quite popular. I believe it's one of the most common properties of air you might have had. So Air exerts pressure on surfaces. So, and it's due to the constant movement. Yes. So, air molecule is always on constant motion. That is why it is dense and penetrates everywhere. Compared to other states of matter like solid or liquid that have a static movement. Yes, but for the air, the molecules are always on constant motion, therefore exerting pressure on whatever vacuum or the atmosphere it is. So that is for pressure. And the other one is temperature. So the argon makes up just 1% of the air constituent. That is, not just argon alone, with other components um, of air. So it is a noble gas and it's inert, which means it doesn't react with other chemicals. So the other one is humidity. So humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. So this is just a practical example. Like I mentioned in the composition of air, I told you air has water vapor. That is where air can be sometimes very cold. So you can experience it during your rainy season. So in your rainy season, air contains excessive water vapor. That is why most time your surface is always wet compared to dry season. So dry season surface is always dry because it contains dry air. But in rainy season we have water vapor in the air. So that is why if you can experiment that and observe your rainy season and dry season, if you wash your clothes in rainy season, it takes some time for it to dry because the air that was supposed to dry it contains water vapor itself. But compared to dry season, when the air is dry, so it's going to dry up very fast. So air contains water vapor. That is the humidity of air is quite high during rainy season. So it means air has humidity. So it can affect air density, it can affect the pressure and the comfort level of the environment. So air as well as humidity. So the next one is conductivity. So air is a poor conductor of heat. Yes. So air is a poor conductor of heat. It doesn't transfer heat from a place efficiently. So if for example we have an enclosed place here and you because this place is enclosed and you think okay the next street should be also be there should also be heat there as well and you expect the air to transfer the heat from a point to another, so it doesn't work like that. Air is a bad or poor conductor of heat. It means it doesn't transfer heat efficiently. That is why air is used in insulating materials. Is that taken now? So we move to the next one, which is viscosity. So air is dense, and from the meaning of viscosity, viscosity means resistance to flow. Yes. So air is quite dense, so easily it has viscosity. So it can penetrate. It moves things fast. So viscosity increase with so viscosity means resistant to flow. So, like I said, it can be the thickness of an element. So, just where you have viscosity in water or a liquid substance, so we also have it in the air. So, air has viscosity and it is dense. That is why it moves around and can be felt everywhere. So the last part is the composition. So composition, as mentioned earlier, is what is made up in the air. So for example, I told you the nitrogen is taking the larger chunks, which is 78%, followed by oxygen 21%, argon 1%. So that is for the composition of air. So I believe the little point raised there should tell you some of the properties of air. And I would like to give you an assignment to go and research more on the properties of air. They're quite much. I think it's up to 12 or 15 or more. So you can get that from your own end. I believe that explain the properties of air. Thank you for your time. See you next class.